Hi, I'm Christian Taylor, world champion, Olympic triple jump champion. You're watching me on Inside Athletics. You ready?
It's a pleasure for me to welcome my guest, Christian Taylor. Christian, how have you been able to keep this going since you left Florida?
Yeah, it's been a big transition, but the thing is, it's just, if you're passionate about something, it's easy. It's something I study. I believe I'm a student of the sport, a student of my event. And the thing is, I believe, I can be and I want to be the greatest. And so it's just having that mentality that keeps that hunger and that passion and that fire alive.
Well, I'm so glad to hear you say that you're a student of the sport, because it seems like so many athletes are not. They have no idea of who came before them. So you will be well aware of Kenny Harrison, Al Joyner, Willie Banks, Mike Conley. Who were your influences when you were coming into the sport?
Role model-wise, I think the people I looked up to were people like Walter Davis and Dwight Phillips. Dwight Phillips, obviously not the same event, but being the local hero that he is,
right.
Having the medals that he had, and it was just kind of not just their performances, but their charisma outside of that. It was hard to see Dwight without a smile.
Right.
And then when you see Walt jump, when he jumped big and he had those little dances after, it's almost like the swag that we call it now, that they had, and it's something that, it's what I want to kind of mirror myself.
What is it about the jumpers where it seems like they bring an added sort of flair? I mean, a lot of people in track and field don't even know that Willie Banks is the one who started that whole rhythmic clapping thing. He's a triple jumper.
Yes.
What is it about your event and field eventers where you think they've had to bring that extra flair to their event?
Well, I think it's almost getting everybody involved. That's really important. For the sprints, I think when you only have 9 seconds to perform, it's really, that's it. But the thing is, we get 6 chances to do something.
Right.
So why not make the most out of the experience? Why not get the crowd involved? Why not, some people talk trash to each other. It's really just, I don't know. It's
Is
really
it trash talking in your generation?
Not really. Actually, it's become a lot nicer now.
Okay.
I think that's something, I came right at the tail end, and it was kind of weird for me now. Now, most people don't even speak to each other. When I first came in,
right.
There were the older jumpers that were kind of giving me a hard time because I was the rookie. But I think that's what really made me, accomplish what I have,
right.
because it really got that fire going. It really got that passion going. But yeah, I mean, thanks to Willie Banks, I have to thank him for, bringing that extra I guess, to my swag.
I've been around this sport for about 24 years, and I'm not sure that I know what it takes to be good in your event. There's a kid watching you on this program now, and he's saying, you know what? I can kind of jump. I'm a good long jumper. I have good hops. I have good ups. What does it take to be good in this event?
Patience.
Really?
Yeah, I think patience is key. A lot of, if you look at my season now, I get a lot of people wondering if I'm injured, a lot of people, because I've taken a slower approach.
Yeah.
But the thing is, my mentality is I want to be a championship performer. I want to be remembered for my championships.
Yes.
You see, I feel like that's where legends are made, and that's the category I like to be into. And so it's just being patient and knowing that if you take the time to get the technique right, if you take the time to stay healthy, take care of your body, and do what's required from the bottom, the rest will come. And so, there's so many people that try to come out and first meet, try to establish a big market. And this is, May, June, and you have to remember that championships are in August. Yeah. And so I think timing is important, but you just have to stay patient and remember that, if you don't get the foundation, the house will fall through.
Apart from the patience, though, are there certain physical skills that are needed to be a world-class triple jumper?
Yeah, I think flexibility is key.
Really?
Yeah, flexibility is very important. Something I wish I was better at, because I think, once you're more flexible, it allows, your legs and get that more elastic motion.
Right.
And I think if you're tighter, you don't enable yourself to get the full.
So I can be an okay jumper and have great flexibility and be able to compete?
Yeah, I think flexibility will really help, and especially for longevity.
Yeah.
That's another thing that a lot of people forget. Again, going also to the patience thing. You want to think, how can I perform at my best over a long period of time?
Right.
I don't think about the now. I don't think about tomorrow. I think about 6 or 7 months down the road, and then I have to think, I want to be in this as long as possible. So if I can be in this sport for 10 years, why not?
One of my very good friends in the sport is Jonathan Edwards of Great Britain, who obviously has the world record at 18.24 meters.
Yes.
What's that in feet and inches?
I have no idea.
So
60
you're like
feet.
me.
Yeah, I only work
I know
in
we know
meters
it's over
now.
60 feet.
Right.
I sat in Gothenburg and watched those two jumps, the best two jumps,
Right.
and they were just otherworldly. When you look at those jumps, is there any doubt in your mind that you can surpass that one day?
No, no.
None at all?
No, I believe records are made to be broken. You know, I believe if I put that barrier on myself,
Yeah.
then there's no reason I should be out here. Again, I don't say this in disrespectful,
Right.
because it is an amazing feat. If it wasn't, then it would be broken and we'd be talking about somebody else.
And the record's 18 years old this
Exactly.
year. Yeah.
So it is a special mark. It's very far, and I don't want people to forget that. You know.
Yes.
But to even be in the consideration, to be in the same sentence or conversation with that amazing performance is inspiring to me.
Teddy Tamgo of France seems to have scary talent, but he's been injured a lot. Do you feel like if you are not the world record holder next, he can get it?
See, I don't really look at.
You
know-
never think of the next world record holder without thinking of yourself.
No. I have to envision myself, in there. For me, it's right now I'm fighting to be the first one to the 18-meter barrier.
Right.
He's the indoor world record holder, so you can't take away what he's done.
Of course,
and
of course.
I have a lot of respect for that. But the thing is, I want to be the first, and I want to be the person to put it out there where he doesn't have a chance to reach it.
Right.
But I do see what he's bringing, and I acknowledge it. But the thing is, I can't envision anybody else being there but myself.
It seems like your career is going smoothly. NCAA champion at Florida, world champion in 2011.
Right.
And then in 2012, you get the gold. And just when you're settling in, your coach gets hired by the United Kingdom. Tell me what happens now.
Yeah, so that was a shocker. My coach knew about the news before the games, but obviously didn't want to stir anything up, which I appreciate now. But
Yes.
when he told me, I was freaking out. It really sunk hard because all I could think about was what I was going to lose.
What were you going to lose?
Well, my family.
Besides the weather.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The weather is very important for
Yes.
training purposes. But at the end of the season, you start to think about the relationships you have, and my family. I'm very close to my family.
Yes.
I think maybe that's a Caribbean thing. And so, the first thing normally after every season, I would fly to Barbados and we'd go and celebrate.
Oh, wow.
Or I'd just go home and just spend time with them because you go from hotel. It's nice to just be home.
Yeah.
To have a home cooked meal. Obviously, my girlfriend is in Florida,
Yeah.
and so being separated from that, it just be different because we've been, all through Florida we were together, and then that. So it's little things like that that were difficult, and then on the outside of that, it's just the personal picking up the phone. Now I knew I could no longer just call my boys up and be like, hey, let's go down the street get some wings.
Right.
Now it's like let's go get some fish and chips, and it's really not an option. But then training wise, like you said, the weather. Being in Florida year round,
Yes.
I'm wearing,
Warmth. It's hot.
yeah, nothing, and to know that pretty much every day I'm going to be wrapped up, in a jumper. It was just something I've just never imagined myself being in because I've always been in warm weather. I'm from Georgia, lived in Florida, parents from Barbados. We go to, you see it like I didn't know what cold was. Yeah,
Yes.
I was almost those people that didn't know what snow was, because I've seen it, touched it, when I'd go to Kentucky or Tennessee.
Right.
But it was only a weekend, it's not something I would.
And you'd go back home.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't think mentally I was ready for that. But like you said, when you look at what I've achieved, it wasn't just me. It's a team process. It's
Yes.
me and my coach, me and the physio, me and my parents, the support I had around me, and my coach and I having the relationship that we have. I said that this is only a small window of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Why not make the best of it? I don't want to ever have regrets saying, if I didn't do this, if I didn't sacrifice. In life,
Especially if you want to be the greatest, as you said.
That's it. You have to make sacrifices if you want to be the best. It doesn't come easy. And once I sat down and I think had a more mature outlook on it, I realized that this was probably the best thing for me.
Now, you said you want to be considered the greatest to ever do this event. What, in your mind, do you have to do? Is there a series of things like 3-time Olympic champion, world record holder? What in your mind is what you need to do to be considered the greatest?
With that title, I think it's basically declared as a complete dominance.
Okay.
Yeah, I use people like Christian Olsen. There were several years where he could not be beat.
Unbeatable.
He could not be beat.
Yes.
And I think, again, that's what I want to be. That's a category I need to get into. So, obviously getting golds, great. But I want to be in this conversation now. Christian Olsen and Christian Taylor, unbeatable.
Right.
Then you have the Jonathan Edwards. You have the world record holder. You can't take that away.
First over 18 meters.
That's it. But backtracking a little, you have to go to Kenny Harrison. I have to get the American record before the world record.
Right.
So, getting over that barrier, the 18-meter barrier, the 1809 barrier, so even 1810, I'll take it.
Right.
But yeah, getting that American record, it's just taking down those little things, climbing my way to the top. But it's not just the world record. There's a lot of different other things that I challenge myself, whether it's World Challenge meets, whether it's Diamond League. Right now, my goal is, to win several Diamond League series year after year. This is going to be my second one now, and I'm very hungry, very passionate about this Diamond League. I think it's a great representation of a consistency throughout the year, a consistency of dominance. That's a word I like to use because it's a strong word. It's a word that shows that not just you and your coach sat down and had a plan. You saw what everyone else is doing.
Right.
You planned out your year. Again, August is something that I want to be a championship performer. But throughout there, I want to send the message that before we get to August, I'm the man you need to be after. And so it's little things like that.
Right.
And so I think the Diamond League is great with helping that, helping me send my message. And, hopefully in Moscow, the message will be signed.
Let me tell you, I've seen a lot of athletes where you are right now. What you have, whether or not you know it, is you have a lot of it factor. And I was telling the crew the other day, if we had a couple more in this sport like you, we'd be much, much better off. Keep doing what you're doing. A lot of people have been watching you, and they understand very clearly that is a young, rising star in the sport. Doesn't matter what event you were doing, people are going to pay attention. Best of luck to you at the World Championship.
Thank you very much.
All right.